And welcome to Discoveries in Health. This is Bishop Dr. Truman Berst coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries. And we're here for another edition of Discoveries in Health, where we talk about natural remedies and how to use them. We're talking about foods, we're not talking about drugs, and we're not selling products. We're here discussing natural remedies, and my telephone number is 503-362-5899. My email address is Truman, Truman, at herbalhealthreview.com. Just like the website, herbalhealthreview.com, where all my work is published. And you can become a member and view all that information. There's a membership in a member intake form there. And when you fill that member intake form out, well, it goes directly to me. Then I know what health challenges you are facing. And then we can discuss the latest research regarding food. That's right, food. Your diet, the natural remedies are food. They're not drugs. And if they were, we'd be really in big trouble because the FDA, doesn't like natural remedies. They've proven it over the years, and so we have to live with that. And I mean, we have to live with that. It's a shame that we do, but we have to live with that. So that's what we do here. We talk about natural remedies. We praise and worship the Most High God in the name of Jesus Christ. And that's what we do here. And we do it every Thursday for 2 hours. And we invite you to invite your friends and your family because it's free. This information is information that is not readily available anywhere else. And there's not another website like herbalhealthreview.com in America. That's the only one. It's the only one. And all these reports and all this information are very valuable. They're there to comfort you. And that's what natural remedies do. They comfort people. They put them back on track with nature. And when we're using GMO, genetically modified organisms and so forth, that's not working. That's not improving people's health. It's going in the wrong direction. So organic foods, natural foods, and natural remedies. That's what we talk about here. And we do it again every Thursday. Before we get started here, because we're going to open up the telephone lines over there on dial pad and invite people to press their star key 2 times on their telephone if they have a question or if they want to suggest what we talk about, because we do that here as well. We don't have a script. I'm not planning to talk about any particular thing at the moment. And what we do is invite the members to that come into the room to suggest what we talk about. And that's fun that way because it's spontaneous. And since I've been doing this for over 60 years. I've got a lot of experience in doing it. And that being said, let's have that opening prayer, and then let's open up those microphones and get started. And that being said, let's get over here to, is this it? Looking for it. I had it up a moment ago. It's not up now, though. Where is it? Okay, I will just go get it again because I don't see it there. I had my prayer there. Okay. Okay. Stay with me. And we're there. And here we are again on Ephesians 6:11-18, King James Version of the Bible. And we're put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, take the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all of the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints, in the name of Jesus Christ, all praises to the Most High God. In Jesus Christ's name, Yeshua, our Savior. Praise, worship, and thank you, the Most High God, as we receive your complete, continuous, endless, and limitless blessing. For the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in Jesus Christ's name, so be it. And now I invite folks to open up their microphones over there. If you have a question or a comment or a suggestion over on dial pad, press your star key 2 times. And over in Jitsi, just raise your hand. Let us know you have a topic or a suggestion or a comment. And Jimmy, your hand is up, Jimmy. What is it that you have on your mind today, sir?
I'm sorry, I accidentally opened my mic.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. Okay, so we will go on from there, and I'm still looking here. Okay, and I don't see anybody with a suggestion for a topic yet. So let's go pick a topic.
I want one. How about edema?
Edema. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Without using diuretic prescriptions is what I'm saying. They put them on all those diuretic prescriptions, which I heard shuts down your organs and literally kills you. How about we handle it differently?
That's and that would be looking at the kidneys and dealing with the kidneys and
Me too.
and we've got another microphone open. Go ahead.
Dr. Truman,
Yes, go ahead.
last week you spoke on mixing vitamin A and D together. I need you to explain that to me. And also,
Wait a minute. That let's take it one at a time.
Okay.
I didn't say mixing them together. I said don't mix them together because
yes, that's what I mean. Yes.
Right. Yeah. They are vitamin D and vitamin E are antagonistic to each other. They're better taken. So I take my vitamin D in the morning, and I take my uh, vitamin E. No, wait a minute. It was vitamin A. It wasn't vitamin E.
Yes.
It was not E. It was A. Vitamin D and vitamin A are not to be mixed together. So I take my vitamin D in the morning and my vitamin A in the evening because they're antagonistic to each other. Go ahead.
That's confusing because the multiple vitamins that you send out in the kit or that are sent out in the kit, they have vitamin A and D both on the multivitamins.
Well, then I would suggest that you don't you don't take that multiple vitamin, or just know that if you do, take your vitamin, take extra vitamin D and extra vitamin A separately, so that you're actually getting them. Because many of the manufacturers of supplements do combine in their multiple vitamin. They combine vitamin D and vitamin A. And let's take a look at this. What kit are you talking about that has a multiple vitamin in it, where it has a D and A?
Woman's kit, the women's kit. It comes with a multiple vitamin.
Women's kit. Let's take a look at that over here from and we get nothing from the sale of any product, but here is where we usually find what we need, and it's organic. So I'm going to look at women. You say women's kit, but you can't give me a number, can you? You can you?
No, it's Mount Angel's vitamins, multivitamins.
Okay.
And
what kit is that? You say women's kit. All right. I'm going to type in women's kit. Okay, women and apostrophe S. It's got to be. Whoops, I got it over here. Got to spell this correctly. Women's. Okay, women's. And there's a fertility kit. There's a Mount Angel women's multiple vitamin. Yes. Well, I would suggest you don't order it. You say that's in a kit? What kit is it in?
Yes, it came in the kit. It came in the women's kit.
Women's kit. All right, I don't see a women's kit here. I'm going to need a number for that kit so that I can actually make sure.
Okay. Well, I received it from Health and Herbs.
Okay.
And I wasn't aware of not mixing A and D together, so I'm more aware of it now.
Right. Yeah, it's not going to hurt you. It's just that you're not going to get the A and the D like you should. So you should, if a multiple vitamin's got vitamin A and vitamin D in there, then you should take separate A and separate D to make sure you're getting it and your body is able to absorb it. Okay?
Okay. I have another question.
Okay, go ahead.
It's about the colloidal gold water.
I don't make colloidal gold water, and the reason
you don't.
No, and the reason I wouldn't is because I'd have to be a millionaire to be able to do that. Gold rods would be so expensive to get pure gold gold rods to make gold water. So I didn't put that into my repertoire because people couldn't afford it. People couldn't afford gold rods to make gold water. So and I got to be practical. I got to work with things that people can actually use and afford. And you're not finding colloidal gold out there. Excuse me, colloidal gold water out there. But let's take a look and see what it would be like if we were looking for.
The only thing that I've heard as far as like a colloidal or a monoatomic gold is the monatomic gold supplements, and that's a powder.
Water.
It's either a powder or a powder that's suspended in the liquid.
Okay.
There's a couple of websites that are talking about it, so I was just curious. I have very high blood pressure, and I'm trying to find some solutions for my high blood pressure, and it's out of control.
I understand. Have you looked at the high blood pressure report?
Yes.
Well, I would think to make lifestyle changes, diet. Typically, high blood pressure is.
And I've ordered.
Okay.
I've ordered both. I've ordered the lifestyle changes and the blood pressure kit, and it's not helping. My blood pressure has been 180 over 112, and I'm losing hope here.
Well, don't do that. But you want to stay aggressive with finding out what's going on. And I would look at the kidneys. I'm not prescribing or diagnosing for you. I wouldn't do that. But if I were you, I would be looking at the kidneys because they are often a problem when there is high blood pressure. And have you had your kidneys checked?
Yes.
How are the kidneys?
No, I haven't had them checked. But I'm taking the kidney and bladder tincture that is from Health and Herbs also.
Okay, so you're taking.
And
so
I'm
that's
doing
good.
I have a
the
quick question.
marshmallow root.
Yeah, I think Paul has a question. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I have a quick question. Without mentioning like any product names or the actual event, have you gotten a shot in the arm within the last year or so? Okay. All right.
No.
Good. Now we have a baseline and we have a good idea that we can eliminate that as a possibility. Thank you.
Yeah. So we need to stay aggressive and stay on the natural remedies since the medical doctors don't have anything that's helping you. Is that correct?
Well, I stopped taking the medicine because I wanted to do it the natural way. I started listening and following your ministry, and this is what I wanted to do. So no, I'm not taking the medication anymore.
Well, perhaps it's something that you need to do is leverage whatever is working for you with the natural remedies, so that you can get a hold of the problem, and then maybe the natural remedies would be more effective. How long have you been on this regimen?
9 months.
9
months. I have not taken any pharmaceutical drugs or over-the-counter medication.
And for 9 months, you've been taking high blood pressure natural remedies and kidney natural remedies, and making lifestyle changes for 9 months. Is that right?
Yes, for 9 months. When I don't run out. Yes, when I don't run out.
When you don't run out. Well,
yes.
and you're still. Is there anything that your doctor? And I would get back to the doctors and find out why that high blood pressure, what they think, because there's got to be something. Maybe they could give us some positive input here, because we're not doctors here, and we can't prescribe and we can't diagnose, and we don't. So, but
I would suggest,
yeah,
Dr. Truman, I would
go ahead, Edward.
suggest that she adds the magnesium ozone religiously to her daily intake, and let's see what happens. Because for me,
yes, you
that's
sent
my
that to me. Yes, you sent that to me. I'm taking that also.
Taking the
Okay.
Megazone and the Megazone, and you've been taking the Megazone for 9 months.
No, I took it for a couple of months. I bought 2 bottles. I took it for a couple of months. Then I ran out, and I had an episode where my blood pressure got high, and I called him and I asked him to send me another bottle, which he did. Yes, 2 days ago.
Okay, well, we'll stay on that Megazone. All these things that you're doing sounds like you know that you're you're trying to do your best at getting this under control. But once again, if the medical, if your doctor's remedies were actually lowering your blood pressure, I would suggest you go back to your doctors and and use the things that were working for you, but also let's see if then the your problem could stabilize. What do you think?
I'll be right back.
I'm afraid to go back. I'm afraid to damage my kidneys and my heart anymore.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. And we've got. Yeah. Go ahead. Hello. Yes. Go ahead over there. Oh,
this is Barbara.
Yes, Barbara. Go ahead, Barbara.
I just wanted to share something because I work with people with high blood pressure. I heard her stop taking her medicine. She's trying all the herbs, but there's I'm finding out there's some underlying mental illness, stressful stuff going on with her. She could need a therapist. She, in her bloodline, it could be hereditary.
Yeah, of course
they talk about the medicine and everything else, but they're not talking about what is going on stressfully in her life. And it can take your blood pressure totally out of whack because people are dropping dead suddenly. Mental illness. And this is helping her. You sound like there's some underlying stuff to me. I deal with a whole lot of it.
Dr. Freebot, I believe she told me.
Something is happening.
Excuse me. Dr. Freebot, I believe she
might
told me when
need
she
to
called
add
me.
that.
Okay, we're not prescribing or diagnosing here. We're
not talking about prescribing.
Right.
We're talking about suggestions that can help us.
May I say something?
Yeah. Okay, Barbara. Edward, what is it you're trying to say, sir?
Okay, I believe when she called me,
and
she
also,
was having.
Dr. Truman, let
sorry.
me mention this to you. You had a birthday.
Okay, thank you.
Happy belated birthday, Dr. Truman.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I didn't forget that.
Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, Edward, please go ahead.
When she called me day before yesterday, she told me she couldn't even use the blender. She was so weak that she believed she had an allergic reaction from mushroom soups. And I told her I once had my whole body skin peeled from eating mushrooms downtown Los Angeles. I bought them dry in Chinatown, and my entire body peeled of my skin. So if she's having an allergic reaction, I can understand it. And I made a couple of suggestions, and she wanted another bottle of the Maglozone because she happened to be out of it, so she ordered it at the same time.
Yeah. Well, again, I suggest that she's get all the help that she can, and continue. But and Barbara had a very valid point there with stress and things going on. So if there's a lot of stress going on, we certainly got to calm down the stress. But we also have to continue to find the cause and stay on all the good things that may comfort and help her.
Can an allergic reaction cause high blood pressure? If she was allergic to mushrooms, as I was when my whole body's peeled, can she have a different symptom like her high blood pressure jumping up from an allergic reaction to something like that?
Yeah. See, there's all kinds of things that could be.
I'm not sure, but it sounds like it could be.
Sure. But anyway, okay. So moving forward from that, we started out with edema, and we took a look at colloidal gold. There are products out there that you can get with gold, meso gold and so forth. And so, yeah, if somebody gives me some positive input that they're using colloidal gold, then I'd be interested, in sharing that information with everyone, because that's what we're always looking for, is natural things that will comfort us and help us to live a better life. So, I'm looking for more positive information coming from people who are using colloidal gold. That being said, let's get back to this subject that we almost talked about, and that was edema. Edema is water retention, and water retention is kidneys. So you want to take a look and comfort the kidneys. Let's take a look at how we comfort the kidneys down here with a kidney bladder report that's on herbalhealthreview.com, and we click on that kidney bladder report. And when we do, we then have to go down and say read more. Okay, so we clicked on that. So now we're waiting for it to populate, and it's getting there. So now we're looking at the kidney bladder research information, and so that it's explaining what the kidneys do and the various challenges that the kidneys have, and so forth. And a lot of times people, really need to make sure they're having a good supplement dosages of calcium and magnesium and amino acids and enzymes and potassium and lots of super green foods, and a good multiple vitamin that doesn't have A and D in the same multiple vitamin. And then they want to look at this kidney gallstone nourishing cleanse, because it starts with this marshmallow root tea. And marshmallow root tea is a diuretic. A diuretic is going to help to get the water off. It's going to help with diuretics, or what you use when there's edema. You need diuretics. So one of the greatest diuretics is marshmallow root tea. And the marshmallow root tea is mucilaginous. It's very sticky and gooey. But the tea isn't like that. I mean, the tea is the tea, but it's to the kidneys, it's coating over any stones. It coats over any stones that might be causing, if there's kidney stones, bladder stones, and these stones are sharp and they cause bleeding, and then people are bleeding from the kidneys and so forth. And so the marshmallow root tea is stopping that bleeding, and it's coating over the stones, and you drink a quart of this tea. And how you make it is you get the marshmallow root tea, and you bring 1 quart of water to boil. You pull it off of the burner when the water is boiled, and you put a tablespoon of the marshmallow root tea in the water, stir it up a little bit, put the lid on it, let it cool down. As soon as it's cool enough to drink, you sip on that tea all throughout the day, and always with any diuretics. 2 hours before bed, you don't want to be drinking any diuretics, because you want to be able to go to bed and go to sleep and not have to get up all night running to the bathroom. So you drink your marshmallow root tea, and it's cleaning out, and it's helping with the edema, because it's cleaning out, and it's a diuretic, and it's taking the water out of the body, and you're doing it all day long. 2 hours before dinner, you have to be done drinking your tea. That's it, 1 quart throughout the day. And then you also would use herbs that are soothing and have historical and traditional reputations for helping the kidneys. And so there is a kidney bladder herbal formula. And the kidney bladder herbal formula is number 1246. It's a tincture extract, number 1246. And you're taking about a half a dropper full, which is about 30 drops, 3 times a day. And the marshmallow root tea, its number, and by the way, you can hover over and click on the word marshmallow root tea, and you can open that link in a new tab, and then you can click on the link that you opened up. Now you're looking at marshmallow root tea. And I don't get anything from the sale of any product. But the marshmallow root tea is like about a quarter of a pound, must be 884, and what is it, a pound? Let's see how much it is. You look at the options here of the size. Oh, you can get a quarter of a pound, a half a pound, or a whole pound of, if you got kidney problems, you can order a whole pound of it. Or you can order just a quarter of a pound of the tea and try it. And, anyway, you can get all these different sizes, and it starts at $8.84 for a quarter of a pound of this tea. But anyway, that's and it's organic. Its origin is from Africa, and it's organic marshmallow root tea. But now, when you're reading the report, you can click on the tea and look at it, and you can order it and put it in a shopping cart, and we get nothing from it, but that's okay. That's the way the rules are. It's not really okay, but that's what it is. We have to do that. That's what we have to do. So we don't offend certain people, because we don't like to offend certain people, Anyway, this kidney bladder herbal tincture extract and this herbal tea, now you have a diuretic. Now you have herbs in this kidney bladder herbal tincture extract that you're taking a half a dropper full 3 times a day, and it's got peach bark. It has marshmallow root tincture extract. So you're getting more of the medicine of the herb in a liquid form. You're getting plenty in the tea, but it's concentrated in the tincture extract liquid. So now you've got peach bark and marshmallow root and buchu leaf and corn silk and echinacea and goldenrod and parsley root, one of the greatest diuretics for edema, and red clover blossoms and dandelion root and watermelon seed and Ursi leaf. And when you look up any of these herbs, you find that these are the herbs that help the kidneys. They nourish the kidneys. This is kidney food, and so that's where we start. Then you look down below, and if there is pain, if you've got pain, then you would maybe want some kava tincture, because kava will numb out pain. It will help to numb the pain. Okay, and it's a very relaxing. It alleviates spasms related to kidney stones, and it relaxes the urethra. And if you needed that, you would add it. And if you didn't, you'd leave it out. And here's another one you might add, and that is Schisandra berry, because Schisandra berry, another 30 drops or a half a dropper full 3 times a day. And the beauty of these drops, these herbal liquid drops, they all can be combined in one glass or one shot glass or one cup. You can mix them together, and then you can just sip it down, or you can add some herbal tea to it and sip it down. But you don't have to do them separately, but you can. And the Schisandra berry, it's strengthening the digestive organs and the immune system to fight off this edema. And it protects against free radical damage. And Schisandra berry is antiviral. If there are viruses that are attacking the kidneys, it's historically and traditionally been used because it protects against free radical damage and viral and bacterial infections. So if you've got any kind of a kidney infection going on, Schisandra berry. Okay, and if there's a lot of inflammation and you just can't get the inflammation calmed down, get some nettle leaf, get more nettles. And because nettle leaf contains biologically active compounds that reduce inflammation, and herbs for there are other herbs that we can also use. For instance, we added some nettle leaf because there was more inflammation. But if we needed a very powerful diuretic for edema, then we would use watermelon seed, because it's one of the most powerful herbs as a diuretic that there is. Watermelon seed. That's why evil people took them out of watermelons. They belong in watermelons because you get all the water from the watermelon. And then you have the watermelon seed that heals and flushes out the kidneys. Watermelon seeds are wonderful. So whenever I still look when I'm looking for a watermelon, I'm looking for a watermelon with the seeds in it, because I know that those, when I chew the seeds up or I put them in the blender, wow, man, I've got this super tonic that's a great diuretic and will flush out my kidneys and keep them strong. Now, what if there is even more inflammation and you're using the nettle leaf and you still have inflammation? More goldenrod. So you get a separate bottle of nettle leaf, you get a separate bottle of goldenrod, and you go after it and go after that inflammation because it's anti-inflammatory. And also you want to make sure you're getting more celery and more parsley, when you need, those are the foods. Celery and parsley are great to help to restore the kidneys and help with edema. So, and of course, the celery and the parsley, they can be eaten raw, and even cranberries can be consumed, dried or in juice blends. And these are all anti-inflammatory for the kidneys. And if there's diabetes, you might want to look at juniper berries if diabetes is the cause of the kidney problems and the edema, because juniper berries is also used historically and traditionally when there is diabetes. But again, red clover is absolutely a wonderful, wonderful herbs. We could go on for about 15 minutes just talking about red clover blossoms, because those are incredible. They are totally beneficial for kidney disease. Now, if these kidneys are so bad that they're maybe there's you have gallstones and kidney stones. Well, that's when you want to know about herbs called in a formula, a liquid herbal tincture extract called Stones Clear, because the Stones Clear has hydrangea root. Hydrangea breaks down these stones. And then there's another herb that breaks stones down called gravel root. So hydrangea root and gravel root, it's breaking down the stones. And then there's some marshmallow root in there as well to coat over these stones that are probably making people bleed or stopping them so that they won't bleed. That's what the marshmallow root is in there for. And also a diuretic. There's also goldenrod in the Stones Clear because that's anti-inflammatory. So that's what's in Stones Clear. And that's where people who are dealing with stones. And interesting. Okay, we're not going to do that. I don't know where that's coming from, but I am going to. Oh, there we go. I'm going to decline that. Thank you. We'll call that person back. And so that's how you deal with stones if that is a problem. But here is one of the old time remedies to get rid of stones. I mean, even like a quart jar full of stones you can get all at one time when you drink an olive oil and lemon juice concoction. The olive oil lubricates and soothes the urethral passages, while the high acidity of the lemon juice breaks down the crystal aggregations and clearing your urethral passages of kidney stones. And you would drink.
Are there other acidic things that you can take, like a organic apple cider vinegar or
Yes.
like a kombucha?
Yeah,
are those useful as well?
Yeah, but they're not going to be as acidic as lemon juice.
Okay.
And that's lemon juice has been the one that is time proven to do, because it breaks down that crystal aggregations, and it's also clearing the urethral passages of the kidney stones. And you drink this mixture once a day before going to bed. If the stone pain is detected, mix 2 ounces of olive oil with 2 ounces of lemon juice straight down, and then drink a large glass of water. Stones should pass within 24 hours. And you drink organic raw apple cider vinegar. The high acidity of apple cider vinegar breaks up your kidney stones and allows them to easily pass from your body through your urine. And you drink about 5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar daily, preferably 30 minutes before meals. And you can dilute it to your taste in water and drink a lot of water. When you're doing this, you want to be drinking about a gallon of water a day. And whenever you're doing something like this, and people that are fighting cancers and diabetes and really health challenges, they've got to have at least a gallon of water a day, because they need to flush that stuff right out of their body. And most people are not getting that. When they're ill, it's even hard for them to even want to drink and so forth. But drink a lot of water. Increasing your water consumption prevents new kidney stones from forming while softening existing ones. You want to drink, about half your body weight in ounces of water, and we have to really flush out those kidneys. That's what we're trying to do here.
Every day you should drink that much.
There you go.
Even without a kidney problem, the best prevention is to do the right things before things happen bad.
Yep, do it before it breaks. Doing it after it breaks is messy, and it hurts. It's painful, and a lot of people don't make it because they have more than one health challenge. And these multiple health challenges are really, those are the people that have to really try the hardest, and they're the weakest. And so they really need all the comfort that they can possibly get with natural remedies to help them to help their body to resolve these things. And these are the time-proven remedies that people have been using since the beginning of time. So there we are. That's edema. Let's look at an edema herbal remedy, okay? And let's look at an edema herbal remedy. Let me grab my book here and put that there. And look at this water retention herbal formula that is listed here. I will get the number, and let's see, water retention number 1448. Okay, number 1448 is a water retention herbal water retention control. Let's take a look at that. Water retention control, and the herbs that are in it: hawthorn berries for the heart. Hawthorn berries have been used when there is congestive heart failure. We've used hawthorn berries to comfort people. We've used bilberry fruit and shade grass and juniper berries and Odysee leaf, horse chestnut seed, corn silk, very soothing to the kidneys, butcher's broom root and dandelion leaf and lobelia leaf and marshmallow root and parsley leaf and even pau de arco bark and goldenrod leaf and cleaver's leaf. That is all the herbs that will really help when there is a problem with edema. That's called water retention control number 1448. And again, we're not selling products and don't get anything from the sale of any product. So that is that. Is there any other question, comment, or suggestion? I'm looking for anybody. Jimmy, do you have a question, topic, or suggestion? Okay.
Doug Truman, last week there was a question about herbal treatment or herbal support for post-menopausal women, and a lot of the preparation and reports you talked about were pre-menopausal reproductive health treatments. Do you have something on post-menopausal symptoms?
Well, yes, because when there is post-menopausal symptoms.
Dr. Truman.
Go ahead. Yes, Barbara, go ahead.
Dr. Truman.
Yes.
Last week in conference, I had people, I deal with people worldwide, the kidney and bladder. You talked about the intake of sugar. They called me and said that was the problem with them, with their kidneys and bladder. They were intaking a lot of sugar.
There you
So
go.
they are feeling better because they stopped taking all that sugar intake.
There you go, and that's good feedback, because people need to know what can get them in trouble so that they can avoid too much sugar. And if they have a problem, they can,
never would have thought it was from sugar.
there you go.
Never would. They called me
and
they said, sugar, I take a lot of sugar.
yeah.
So they downsized their sugar intake. And they called me and said that the doctor said they're getting better.
There you go.
Sugar and corn syrup wreak havoc on our lives. They devastate us. They don't stop. The only kind of sugar that can be good for you is natural cane sugar, but in the proper manner. You don't just mix all your foods and think that you're going to be okay. It doesn't work like that.
There you go. So the thing about this is,
one of them has bladder cancer. What stage is it? She had to get a cyst put in her bladder because she was intaking all that sugar.
Wow. And sugar feeds cancer.
She had her cyst put in. She said, I did not know that sugar had anything to do with it. She was getting 15 packs of sugar in a coffee every morning.
And there's a lot of things like that going on with folks. They don't realize that the things that they've been using and getting away with for many years, all of a sudden they just can't do it anymore, and they don't know, and they can't figure out why, because they say, hey, I've been having 15 packs of sugar in each cup of coffee that I've had, and I've been doing it for years. Why now? Why now? It finally broke.
Came in on the conference until she heard you all talk about that.
Yeah.
Artificial sugar is
women deal with bladder cancer.
Yes.
From intaking a lot of sugar.
There you
That's
go.
right.
So that
artificial sugars are deadly too. Oh my, I could go on about them for a while, okay? And all the reports and all the knowledge that I ran across about them.
Yes, artificial sugars are poison.
I use
and we
stevia.
want to stay away from them. And we need to find out about stevia.
When you in a
That's what I use. I grow it.
wrote this down. I write. I looked at my last week conference and it downloaded me about that sugar.
Yeah.
And getting these calls. You have to write. It's important. That's knowledge.
Yeah. So we need a sugar replacement.
Dr. Bob, that sugar fools a lot of people.
Yes.
It was intaken. I had to look at it for my own self. Wait a minute, I need to cut down too.
Yes. So let's take a look at the.
It is what it is.
Yes, it is. Let's take a look at the Let's take a look at the cancer information, research, and the natural remedies that are used traditionally and historically. And in that list of information, you're going to, in the breast and all cancer report, when in that information, as you go down in here, it tells you that they've known since 1925 that sugar feeds cancer. They know that. It's not like they don't know it. They do, and they've known it since 1925. And they know that an alkaline diet is also causing and feeding cancers. And
an acidic diet, you mean?
We're too acidic.
An acidic diet feeds cancer.
Acidic diet. There you go.
Dr. Truman, you know of Dr. Otto Warburg, who won 2 Nobel Prizes and was nominated for a 3rd, the only man in history ever had that happen. He won 1 Nobel Prize for proving the prime cause and prevention of cancer, which is 60% or more deprivation of oxygen to the cells. And he proved that no disease whatsoever can thrive in a highly oxygenated, highly alkalized state, or properly alkalized state. No disease can fester, is the exact word, in a highly oxygenated and properly alkalized environment. It's not possible. And our bodies are acidic and low on oxygen. And by the way, the reason I always use my Magozone is my arteries got cleaned out of all of that plaque and buildup because it's powerful enzymatic action. And that was 24 years ago when I had that stroke. And I attribute this product to keeping my arteries totally clean, and my kidneys and my lungs. So I love this product.
Okay, let's talk about sugar substitutes. 3 safe sweeteners without sugar are stevia leaf, the stevia green powder, and the stevia leaf green liquid. 3 ways to use stevia. Then there's products out there like xylitol, which has no sugar in it, and the xylitol remineralizes the teeth, so it helps to remineralize the body. You want to be careful of xylitol. Do never give xylitol to your animals because it's poison. To an animal, to a dog, they'll kill them. So, but aspartame, which is a poison, and sucralose, like Splenda, which is a poison, and another poison is saccharin, and they're all advertised as low carb alternatives to sugar. That is aspartame, Splenda, saccharin. These are all poisons.
If you want to have birth defects, just keep using lots of it for pregnancy.
It's terrible that, and people are using these. They think it's safe. They say, "Hey, it's not sugar. I'm not eating sugar," and they're loading up with poison, and they don't know.
Isn't it true, Dr. Truman, that xylitol? I think I ran across this like 3 o'clock in the morning. When you put it on your mouth and you swish it around in your mouth, it has an effect on your decaying in your mouth and cleans up a lot of it.
Yes. It remineralizes the teeth and makes the tooth stronger. And
but it does have calories, so I would spit it out afterwards. I wouldn't just drink it. You can use it for swishing, but not always drinking it. You don't need all the extra calories.
Yeah, it's a safe sweetener in moderation.
Right.
All things in moderation. So, but this information in the breast and all cancer report is really something that people should look at, because it's talking about minerals like selenium. The mineral selenium proves itself as a powerful anti-cancer medicine, so that the research says that the study shows low selenium linked with liver cancer and many other conditions. And you can get selenium from Brazil nuts. That's it. About 3 Brazil nuts is a good dose of selenium, which you need at least 200 micrograms daily. I take my selenium 200 micrograms every single day. Another thing that I take is the vitamin D, because vitamin D research tells us that vitamin D slashes the risk of cancers by 77%. Cancer industry refuses to support cancer prevention. And then it talks about things like B12 and folic acid drops. The B12 and folic acid drops, the combination can be a very effective revitalizer to every cell in your body. And vitamin B12 helps to maintain a healthy nervous system. A lot of people are so stressed out, and they don't know about B complex, B12, and folic acid. They don't know that these things are going to help. And a lot of women are helped with B12 and folic acid drops because it helps to get rid of pernicious anemia. The B12 and folic acid, this vitamin is mainly found in animal products. Therefore, vegan and vegetarians, you don't get enough of it. Those who do not consume any animal products should supplement with B12, and it's not well assimilated through the stomach, and it may require calcium for its absorption. So you put it under the tongue is the best way to take it, and in a liquid form. And we're talking about B12, and it may take up to 5 years before deficiency symptoms of B12 appear. And folic acid should be taken by females of childbearing age to help prevent birth defects. Folic acid is linked to heart health. It will help your heart. Folic acid is actually a member of the B complex family, and it is also known as vitamin M, like Mary. Its benefits include that it helps in the formation of red blood cells. It maintains the health of the nervous system. The intestinal tract, it maintains the health of the intestinal tract, the sex organs, and the white blood cells. And it promotes normal growth and development. B12 and folic acid, the deficiency is occurring from alcoholism and liver disease and hemolytic anemia, sprue and pregnancy and breastfeeding and contraceptive pill use. B12 and folic acid promotes healthier looking skin. It may decrease graying hair.
Truman,
Yes, go ahead.
Dr. Truman.
Yes, go ahead.
Dr. Truman, it's excellent what you're talking about. And men need to understand that women are embarrassed to tell anybody about leaking bladder and sugar intake. We are embarrassed and keep it private. So to bring this out and let men know what women are dealing with.
That's right.
There's a whole lot of women.
Yep.
It's been taking a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
And men got to understand we're different than a man.
Totally.
Hey, Dr. Truman,
Yes, go ahead.
if you take a pile of sugar and put it outside an ant colony, after 2 generations, they'll be too weak to reproduce. I read that a long time ago. Sugar is the ruination of all animals, humans and animals, living.
And insects. Yeah. Yes. So this is
Processed sugar.
That's correct. Brother
Processed
Ed, Brother Ed, that's correct. But get the understanding and the download of a woman and embarrassed to talk about it.
yeah.
It's not always what you read about. Women are embarrassed. They don't like to tell nobody of what's going on with their bladder.
That's true. Very true. So as we're getting into this and we're finding out that this B12 and folic acid is so important that because it's helping so many areas, and it may decrease graying hair when used with pantothenic acid, PABA, PABA, and it helps to prevent birth defects, and it helps to prevent canker sores, herpes, and it helps to protect against internal parasites and food poisoning, and it helps to increase your appetite of a debilitated individual. It helps bring their appetite back. And both B12 and folic acid are essential nutrients belonging to the B complex group of vitamins. An essential nutrient is one that your body cannot make on its own. It must be consumed in your diet via supplementation. B vitamins are water soluble, meaning for the most part, your body cannot store them. B12 is an exception to this, as your liver does not store substantial amounts of B12 that could take up to 5 years to become depleted, according to the Merck Manual's online medical library. And folic acid. Folic acid is the synthetic form of vitamin B9. In its natural form, B9 is called folate and is named after folium, the Latin word for leaf. This is because folate is found in green leafy vegetables such as spinach. Other dietary sources of folate are citrus fruit, dried beans, and fortified cereals. Folic acid supplements are used to boost the intake of B9 for people who do not receive adequate amounts from their foods. Folic acid aids in the production of red blood cells and DNA. A deficiency of folate can lead to anemia due to decreased red blood cell production. Symptoms such as sore tongue, loss of taste sensation, depression, and tingling in the extremities may be a sign of folate deficiency. I'll say it again. Symptoms of a sore tongue, loss of taste sensation, depression, and tingling in the extremities may be a sign of folate deficiency. B12 is also known as cobalamin, a reference to the cobalt ion that is present in its structure. B12 is derived solely from animal sources such as meat, fish, dairy, and milk products. Those who do not consume animal products, such as strict vegans, often eat foods fortified with B12 to ensure adequate consumption of this nutrient. B12 is needed for red blood cell production, the synthesis of DNA, and the maintenance of the nervous system, according to the Office of Dietary Supplements. B12 deficiency in folic acid, a deficiency in either B12 or folic acid can cause megaloblastic anemia, a condition in which your body produces immature and abnormally large red blood cells. If you have megaloblastic anemia, it is vital that your doctor diagnose which of these two nutrients you lack. If you have a B12 deficiency, but are mistakenly treated for a folic acid deficiency, your anemia symptoms may be resolved, but the neurological damage caused by the B12 deficiency will not be addressed, and permanent nerve damage could result. The dosage, the recommended dietary allowance of B12 for most people 14 years of age and older is 2.4 micrograms, according to the ODS. If you are pregnant, you are advised to take 2.6 micrograms daily. And if you're lactating, that almost increases to 2.8 micrograms. For folic acid,
Dr. Truman,
go ahead.
Dr. Truman,
Yes.
on that note about women being pregnant, not men, look up the word chemotherapy. In the middle of chemotherapy is woman.
Mother.
We carry the children. It's genetic. It can come from the father, or it can come from the mother, hereditary. Look up chemotherapy. In the middle, you'll see woman.
Yeah, actually, mother. The word mother, M-O-T-H-E-R.
Mother. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry, mother. I told you that before.
Yeah.
Mother.
Yes.
Mother is in the
Yes.
middle of chemotherapy.
Yes, it is.
We carry the children. The men don't carry children. Men got to understand, as us women got to understand, mother carries the children. And it could be hereditary from the father or the mother or both.
Yes.
Write it down, y'all. Look at mother in the middle. Because we don't want to carry the children.
Yes.
And they killed my mother when I was 15 with chemotherapy. And they're still doing it today. They're lying about it. It's all right.
It is not all right. But
Well, that's why I had to get to the bottom of it.
Things we're dealing with. You know, evil in high places. So we have to be careful of these things. And we have to take a look at these natural remedies and get the word out.
You saying that's all right as a man, and a woman is the mother, it's out of order. Because it could come from the man bloodline. And we all got to look at this. All of us. Women carry children, man. Mother. That's insulting.
All right. Okay, we were just okay. So let's finish where we were. We were talking about the dosages, and we left off for folic acid. The recommended dietary allowance was for most 14-year-olds
Dr. Truman, if we could go back, if we could go back to about 5 or 10 minutes before the interruption, just so we can get a flow and make sure that we cover everything completely in an understanding way, that I'd appreciate that.
Yes. So we talked about the dosages and what we need to know.
And Brother Paul, you have to remember, this is a conference.
This is a conference, and there is time. This is a conference, and there is time for questions, and there are time for comments. But when we're covering a topic, let's cover the topic completely.
People are not drinking.
Let's cover the topic completely.
It's a conference.
Okay.
Before you got here, Brother Paul, people were talking about all this. It's a conference. We need help, so we're going to talk about it. Now you're not getting topics. It needs to stop.
Pregnant women are advised to consume 600 micrograms of B12 daily. And lactating women should consume 500 micrograms per day. Underlying conditions may increase your need for either B12 or folic acid. You might ask your doctor, what dosage is right for you? Let's talk about another thing. We talked about B12 and folic acid because it's such an important thing and everybody should be getting it every day. And another one we briefly touched on was red clover blossoms when we were talking about edema. But red clover blossoms, half a dropper full, to 3 to 6 times daily of red clover. Well, because red clover is considered to be one of the richest sources of isoflavones, which are water-soluble chemicals that act like estrogens, known collectively as phytoestrogens. So they're softer. And women who are in post, to answer Paul's question from way back, when he said, let's talk about post menopause, then they would want red clover blossom because it balances, it gives you the softer estrogens. Your body makes harsh estrogens, and those harsh estrogens give you reactions and make you feel bad. And these soft estrogens take their place, and then you're getting your estrogens, but without any side effects. Now, red clover is therefore used for hot flashes, flushes, PMS, breast. It's used for breast enhancement and breast health, and as well as lowering cholesterol and improving urine production and improving circulation of the blood. And it helps to prevent osteoporosis, and it reduces the possibility of blood clots and arterial plaques, and limiting the development of benign prostate hyperplasia. So prostate problems, red clover blossoms. So red clover, it needs to be more understood. Red clover is also a source of many valuable nutrients, including calcium, chromium, magnesium, niacin, phosphorus, potassium, thiamine, and vitamin C. It is a storehouse of nutrition. Several studies of proprietary extract of red clover isoflavones suggest that it may significantly reduce hot flashes in menopausal women. Also, menopause increases a woman's risk for development of osteoporosis, which is significant bone loss. And some studies suggest that a proprietary extract of red clover isoflavones may slow bone loss, even boost bone mineral density in pre and perimenopausal women. The estrogen-like effect of red clover isoflavones may be involved, and red clover also may have a direct effect by preventing the breakdown of existing bone. However, this possible bone strengthening effect has not been seen in men and postmenopausal women because it contains chemicals called isoflavones, which belong to a larger class of plant chemicals known as phyto. Phyto means plant-derived estrogens, plant-derived estrogens. Red clover is often taken to relieve symptoms of premenstrual syndrome, PMS. Isoflavones are similar in shape to the female hormone estrogen. Therefore, they may attach to estrogen receptors throughout the body, particularly in the bladder. I'm going to say it again, particularly in the bladder and blood vessels and bones and the heart. For women with normal estrogen levels, red clover isoflavones may displace some natural estrogens, possibly preventing or relieving estrogen-related symptoms, such as
a lot of people do not know. The only way that you can be found is first know you lie. That's the only way. When I came on this conference with Dr. Truman, I was lying because I didn't know. So now I'm being found.
all praises to the Most
Some
High.
people don't know. One tell one about the conference.
Okay, so to continue, for women with normal estrogen levels, red clover isoflavones may displace some natural estrogens, possibly preventing or relieving estrogen-related symptoms, such as breast pain that are associated with PMS. So we're talking about something that is natural estrogens, possible preventing, relieving estrogen-related symptoms such as breast pain that are associated with PMS. The effect may also reduce the possibility of developing estrogen-dependent cancer of the endometrium, the lining of the uterus. In addition, results from a review of nearly 1,000 women suggest that red clover may interfere with an enzyme known to promote the progression of endometrial cancer. Red clover may also block enzymes thought to contribute to prostate cancer in men. It has shown a definite limiting effect, however, and in the development of benign prostate hyperplasia, BPH, which is a non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate gland. An enlarged prostate may cause men to experience a weak or interrupted urine stream, dribbling after urinating, or an urge to urinate even after voiding. For most men, BPH is a normal part of aging. It is, which is not normal. It is believed that red clover may help to prevent heart disease in several ways. Although results from human studies are not definite, some show that taking red clover may lower the levels of bad, low density lipoprotein cholesterol, the LDL, and raise the levels of good density lipoprotein, HDL, the HDL, which is the cholesterol in the body. In addition, red clover may also promote an increase in the secretion of bile acid, because cholesterol is a major component of bile acid. Increased bile acid production usually means that more cholesterol is used and less cholesterol circulates in the body. Additionally, red clover contains small amounts of chemicals known as coumarins, which may help keep the blood from becoming thick and gummy. Therefore, the possibility of forming blood clots and arterial plaques may be reduced. Plaques are accumulations of blood cells and fats and other substances that may build up in the blood vessels, possibly reducing or blocking blood flow. Red clover may also help the arteries remain strong and flexible, a quality often called arterial compliance, which may also help to prevent some of the plaque deposits that may lead to a heart attack or a stroke. It has been found to be helpful in quitting smoking. Red clover helps people to quit smoking. Now let's take a moment to visit. We're visiting some very, very important nutrients today.
Before you leave red clover, you know it is my favorite, and I've been using it, but for a different reason. Because it was introduced to me as one of the most powerful natural antibiotics you could ever put in your body. It will help you with any infection you have as an adjunct to anything else you're doing. It will be remarkable. And I have recommended it to people for many years.
There you go, red clover blossoms. That's why we're talking about it. And I'm looking at a microphone over here on a dial pad over there in Texas, area code 214-916. Did you have a question or a topic or a suggestion? Nope. Okay. All right. Your mic was open. I'm going to close your mic over there if I can. All right. I'll do it the hard way.
You just gave me a lot more reasons to use red clover, because obviously I had a stroke in 1999 and lost the use of my left arm. I couldn't raise it above my ear at that time while I was loading one of those big trucks with heavy things. And that was it. My life was now changed instantly, like in an instance.
Yes, and that's what happens with a stroke, and it just and it's devastating. But
I never took their medicines or went to their doctors. I started meeting people like you to educate me on what I needed to know real quick. I asked my creator to guide me, and that's what happened.
All praises to the Most High. Let's talk about milk thistle seed because now that there's another super duper herb. You got to know about this milk thistle seed because you can take half a dropper full or up to 2 half dropper fulls 3 times a day, or up to a teaspoon a couple of times daily. And you can put it in juice, water, or tea, but I'd rather just put it directly in my mouth and swish it around, let it mix with the enzymes, and swallow it, and then chase it with juice, water, or tea. But milk thistle seed has a unique, it's unique in its ability to protect the liver. And we're talking about liver and bladder cancer and so forth. So you got to know about milk thistle seed because it has a unique ability to protect the liver and has no equivalent in the pharmaceutical drug world. There's no equivalent. In fact, in cases of poisoning with amanita mushrooms, which destroy the liver, milk thistle is the only treatment option. It has been so dramatically effective that the treatment has never been disputed, even by traditional medical community. This milk thistle seed is an annual or biennial plant of the Asteraceae family, and milk thistle acts in a similar fashion to detoxify other synthetic chemicals that find their way into our bodies, from acetaminophen and alcohol to heavy metals and radiation. Milk thistle is there to protect you. Milk thistle was approved in 1986 as a treatment for liver disease, and it is widely used to treat alcoholic hepatitis, alcoholic fatty liver, cirrhosis of the liver, liver poisoning, and viral hepatitis. Milk thistle seed. It has also been shown to protect the liver against medications such as acetaminophen, a non-aspirin pain reliever. The active ingredient or liver protecting compound in milk. I'm really getting the feedback over here on, I've got to push that button and this one. Okay. Now I'm not getting the feedback. We're talking about an incredible herb that everyone really needs to learn about: milk thistle seed. It's the active ingredient or liver protecting compound in milk thistle seed, which is known as silymarin. Silymarin, this substance, which actually consists of a group of compounds called flavonolignans. These flavonolignans helps repair liver cells damaged by alcohol and other toxic substances by stimulating protein synthesis, by changing the outside layer of the liver cells. It also prevents certain toxins from getting inside the liver cells. Silymarin, milk thistle seed, also seems to encourage liver cell growth. Dr. Oz says that it increases liver cell growth by 60%. Every 120 days, you have 60% new liver cells when you're taking 1 or 2 teaspoons of milk thistle seed daily. You're creating a new liver by changing we got to find my place again here. So silymarin seems to encourage liver cell growth, and it can reduce inflammation. Important for people with liver inflammation or hepatitis, and has potent antioxidant effects. Antioxidants are thought to protect body cells from damage caused by a chemical process called oxidation. Milk thistle, made correctly, is not standardized to an exact amount, as it is made from pure dried natural herbs, and the milk thistle naturally contains about 70 to 80% silymarin and many other constituents thought to work in harmony, which is exactly why you don't standardize something, because if you standardize an herb, you're losing the constituents, the harmony of the other constituents, even though they're maybe they're only 20%. But milk thistle seed, this herb benefits adrenal disorders and inflammatory bowel syndrome, and is used to treat psoriasis because it increases a bile flow. And milk thistle has some estrogen-like effects that may stimulate the flow of breast milk in women who are breastfeeding infants. It may also be used to start late menstrual periods. Milk thistle's estrogen-like effect may also have some usefulness for men with prostate cancer. In animal studies and one small study in humans, milk thistle produced modest reductions in total cholesterol. However, these results have not been demonstrated in larger human studies. This herb is a must for cleansing and for anyone with any sort of liver dysfunction or exposure to toxins. You really need to know about milk thistle seed. Liver disease from alcohol, a comprehensive review by the U.S. Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, the AHRQ, recently identified 16 scientific studies on the use of milk thistle for the treatment of various forms of liver disease. A European standardized extract of milk thistles was used in most of the trials. So it was standardized and it wasn't even harmonized properly. And yet the study showed that it worked. Problems in the study design, such as small numbers of participants and variations in the cause of liver disease, and differences in dosing and duration of milk thistle therapy were all factors in their study. I don't even know why the U.S. Agency of Healthcare Research and Quality would do a study like that, but that's because they left out so much, and still identified in those 16 scientific studies that they found that it is a treatment for various forms of liver disease, even with their faulted report and study. But however, 5 of the 7 studies evaluating milk thistle for alcoholic liver disease found significant improvements in liver function of these alcoholics. Those with the mildest form of alcoholism appear to improve the most. They hadn't bombarded their liver quite as much with those who had a severe or more severe form of liver disease. But milk thistle was less effective for those with severe liver disease, such as cirrhosis. It helped, but it was less effective. But again, they used milk thistle seed that did not have all the constituents in it. Cirrhosis is characterized by scarring and permanent non-reversible damage to the liver, which makes it a real tough one. It is often referred to as end-stage liver disease because of the irreversible scarring. So that's liver with alcohol. That's liver disease from alcohol. But what about viral? What about viral?
Truman,
Go ahead.
are those little like light purple lavender blossom that pops up? Is that a little? The color of it, is it light purple like the lavender color? The flower.
The flower. We're talking about milk thistle seed. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at milk. M-I-L-K. Milk. P-H-I-S-T-L-E.
My son came to me one day and he says, "Dad, this is milk thistle, and you gotta know all about it." And I was very happy that he looks around the property. It grows everywhere here, and they don't spray anything.
Yeah, it's a beautiful plant. Here it is.
Oh yes, it is.
And there you see it now. We brought that up, and it's gorgeous. I love the colors. That's a beautiful plant. Okay, let's get back where we were going. We were talking about, and I gotta find where I was because I left it. Okay, let's go back. Where is it? Was it right here? Yes, and I'm back.
Regrows the liver. That's something
amazing.
People need to make note of that.
Definitely. And let's take a look at what their studies with viral hepatitis. Despite the fact that milk thistle is widely used in the treatment of hepatitis, particularly hepatitis C, results from 4 viral hepatitis studies were contradictory. Some found improvements in liver enzyme activity, while others failed to detect these benefits. None of the studies compared milk thistle with interferon or other medications for viral hepatitis. Cancer, well, the study with milk thistle seed in cancer, preliminary laboratory studies also suggest that active substances in milk thistle may have anti-cancer effects. And let me get back here again. May have one substance. Let's get preliminary laboratory studies also suggest that active substances in milk thistle may have anti-cancer effects, which means that when you standardize it and you leave out all the constituents, you're not getting that anti-cancer effect. One active substance known as silymarin has strong antioxidant properties that has been shown to inhibit the growth of human prostate and breast and cervical cancer cells in test tubes. Further studies are needed to determine whether milk thistle is safe or effective for people with these forms of cancer. We need more studies. But even with defective studies, we're finding that milk thistle seed does incredible things, and including high cholesterol. One animal study found that silymarin, milk thistle seed, an active compound in the milk thistle, which is silymarin, worked as effectively as cholesterol-lowering drug probucol, with the additional benefit of substantially increasing the HDL, the good cholesterol. Further studies in people are needed. So it was found to be very, very good against, very good for cholesterol lowering, better than probucol. And then, and once again, Dr. Oz reports it rebuilds 60 new liver cells. And I have an open mic. Did you have a question, topic, or a suggestion? Okay, no, all right. So what we're talking about here is an absolutely incredible herb. Let's talk about, well, I don't know, let's get into fulvic acid, because that's another incredible product that people need to know about is fulvic acid. Because you should take about a half a teaspoon, one time daily, because all biological organisms, including humans, need organically complexed trace minerals in order to maintain health and prevent disease. If decades ago we had only protected and nourished our soils from hazardous and toxic chemicals, these critical organic complexes would naturally be in the foods we eat today, which they are not. Unfortunately, they are not. And now the question becomes, how do we get these complexes back into the soils? And what can we do in the meantime to replenish the organic trace minerals in our bodies? The answer to both questions lies in a substance called fulvic acid. Fulvic acid, a derivative of humic acid, is the first biological step in changing inorganic trace minerals into organically complexed soluble trace minerals, which can be used by both plants and animals. It is produced in trace amounts by hemostatic soil microorganisms as organic plant matter decays. As the plant matter decays, these elements form. The process takes hundreds of years, like photosynthesis. It cannot be duplicated in the laboratory. Fulvic acid is an extremely small, ultra chelated, low molecular weight molecule, which can beneficially modify so many essential biochemical, electrochemical, and metabolic processes. And yet, the greater scientific community is still largely unaware of fulvic acid and what it does. Nature's treasure chest scientists, they believe that fulvic acid may be one of nature's most precious forms of protection against free radical damage and compromised immunity. It may prove to be the perfect carrier, supplying organic trace minerals and many other necessary plant complexes to biological organisms, including humans. It may also be the ultimate antioxidant, acting as both a donor and an acceptor of electrons depending on need. Fulvic acid is one of the best known chelating agents, allowing it to carry critical minerals into the body and comparative absorption. Organic molecules, fulvic acid versus a typical colloid inorganic element, a virtual treasure chest that is perhaps the missing link to our survival on this planet. Unquestionably, fulvic acid is one of those unique and beautiful gifts provided by nature. It is a world in of itself, a microcosm which may bring balance to the larger microcosm of life. Further studies will undoubtedly document the immune role the immense role, not the immense role it plays in the health and the entire planet. So fulvic acid, super nutrient. We're going to end this with a colostrum. Colostrum is a very concentrated immune system builder. It is a mammary secretion produced prior to birth, and it is released into the mother's milk right after birth. It contains protective antibodies and many nutrients for the baby. Mammograms can cause breast cancer and other cancer facts that you probably know. There's another topic we need to get into another time, but those are some topics that we just definitely, those topics that we just went into were so important. I'm glad we did that. Any question or anything else we say before we come near the top of the hour? Does anybody have anything? Jimmy, nothing. Okay. All right. In that case, let's get over here. Paul, did you have anything to share with us before we get near the top of the hour here? Paul does nothing.
No, actually.
Okay.
We'll be back next week.
Oh, yes, we will.
And I realize this is a conference, but it's also a broadcast, and it's on 12 platforms. And there are thousands of people that see this. It's not just for the benefit of the people that are present. It's for the benefit of all viewers, no matter when they watch it, either live or as an archive. This is for the benefit of the many. And it's a conference.
And that's a very valuable fact, Paul, that you bring that you've widened our ability to reach more channels, and that's helping more people. And Paul, kudos to you for helping us do that, Paul.
Thank you. And this is the Discoveries in Health Discussions program with Dr. Truman Berst. It is on all of the Global Voice Networks platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, Dlive, Odysee, Tiger Network, and Telegram. And it's also on Dr. Truman Berst's YouTube channel. There are plenty of places to see this program. You can find the links at herbalhealthreview.com. You can also find links to Global Voice Networks platforms, some of them on globalvoiceradio.net. Thank you, Doc.
Yes, thank you, Paul. And that being said, let's get back over here and in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior, put on that whole body armor of God. We already got it on. We are going to talk about it again. I just need to find where I have it, and I'm not finding it. So I'm going to go get it again. And here we go. Let's put on the whole body armor of God one more time. Let's visit Ephesians 6:11-18 one more time as we leave the broadcast. We leave it in prayer. We'll open up all the microphones after I've read the whole body armor of God with Ephesians 6:11-18. And then we're going to open up the microphones and we can all praise the Most High together. Let's put on the whole armor of God. We put it on in the beginning, but sometimes it's a good idea to just put it on several times. You put it on coming and put it on going. And so we're putting on the whole armor of God in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, we take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done so, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. And above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. In Jesus Christ's name, so be it, as we receive his complete, continuous, endless, and limitless blessing. All praises to the Most High God, as we receive for the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All praises to the Most High God, in Jesus Christ's name. Let us open up the microphones. They're over there in dial pad. Brothers and sisters, we're going over there now, and we're opening up the microphones, all of them. Open up. There we go. And open. We've got them all open now. All praises.
Brother, and all praise to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High.
All
brothers and
praise to the
sisters.
Most High. Thank you, Dr. Truman and Brother Edward.
Thank you, everybody. All praises to the Most High. Tell your friends and bring them with you next Thursday.
All praises to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High.
This program is presented for information purposes only. The statements made herein have not been evaluated by any agency and should not be considered professional, legal, or medical advice. Viewers are directed to consult their own professional sources before acting on any information presented here.